My name is Spencer, and I know C and ASL.
Mi nombre es Miguel y hablo inglés y español.
I like that it has Funko, and I like the new Y, and I like Forest Park and all the other parks.
Funko!
A pizza house because I love the pizza and it is the best pizza I've ever had.
Mi favorita cosa de Everett es mi escuela, mi banda y mis compañeros en la escuela.
The community as a whole, there are a lot of nice people.
There's such a diverse community. There's so many people here. You always meet someone new every day, and it's always a place where there's something to talk about, something to see, something new to experience. And for me, it's an awesome place to grow up.
And have some friends.
I hope to see a digi pen in Everett because I want to learn how to make video games, and so I can make video games for deaf, hard of hearing, and hearing people.
Be accepting of people, whether they are of a different race, sexuality, gender, or if they have a difference. I want everyone to be really accepting of those in Everett. I just want Everett to be a community where everyone feels like they belong.
And my dream is that it will be very cool.
I see it being a place where you hear you come from Everett, and you're like, dang, you come from Everett? That's awesome.
I want Everett to be nice and sunny.
I would like to see a safe place for teens to get together and for there to be sports and video games and snacks.
I want more video game, local competitions, so people can learn more about robots, technology, how to mess around with Legos, build them, and how they can just have an open mindset to what they want to do in the future.
People who are younger, teenagers, middle schooler age, and even kids in general, they're the future of Everett, and they need to have a say in what goes on because Everett is going to be their city when they're older, and someday they might be able to run it.
Kids that grow up here are able to develop new passions, learn about new things, and create kind of a solid base that they can go out and create awesome careers, do awesome things, come back and be always proud to say, this is where I come from and this is what shaped me, and be able to make an impact wherever they go.
I love Everett.
Good morning and welcome to the state of Everett. My name is Amber Van Winkle and we are so glad to introduce Mayor Franklin today.
And I am Maddie King. We are both proud members of the Youth Advisory Board, also known as YAB. Our mission statement is shaping the community we call home.
Our goals are to increase youth engagement, create recommendations to the mayor, and determine the best practices for the future of YAB. We work as a team in the hopes of making a positive difference in our city.
We are excited to learn more about our city and how local government works. We also want to build a bridge between youth and our elected officials. One of my personal goals is to increase the amount of youth participation in South Everett to create one united city.
One of my goals is to influence policy that will better our city for future youth and help make the city a place people call home. We want Everett to be a place people move to and come back to after college.
The reason I am serving on this board is not just to improve the city, but to recognize what I already love and protect it for future generations. I love our diverse community, our beautiful river and waterfronts, and the opportunities I have been given.
I love how close the community feels and the respect we show each other. I also love the recreational activities our beautiful city has to offer. We are proud to be from Everett and to serve the mayor while making Everett a better community.
Now that we have given you a rundown of YAB, we can refocus on Mayor Franklin. Mayor Franklin is an outstanding leader and role model whom I had the pleasure of meeting while I was competing in a STEM competition. My group's goal for the competition was to create an interactive STEM learning toy designed to give young girls the same opportunity that young boys are afforded. We met people who weren't supportive of our idea. So when Mayor Franklin showed interest, we were ecstatic. She saw value in us, our work, and our goal. Mayor Franklin radiated a positive energy and had a vision to recruit young, diverse people to our youth board. She personally emailed myself to apply to the board and bring my ideas to an official platform. Cassie not only appreciated my project, but also my innovation and created a space for me to use my brain and help my community.
Cassie has been in office for 2 years, focused on public speaking, engagement, our budget deficit, and so much more. She's Everett's first elected female mayor, and I'm glad to finally see myself in our highest elected office. Before I got up the nerve to apply for YAB, I watched a YouTube video of her speaking, and I was so inspired by her active role in the community. Without listening to her and finding herself so relatable, I don't think I would have ever applied. While I watched that video, she made me feel like I wasn't alone in my struggles. She showed me my opinion would matter, and I feel like everyone in this room supporting Mayor Franklin is also supporting me in my goals to become a future community leader.
Without further delay, we are proud to officially introduce Mayor Cassie Franklin.
Good morning. Thank you, Amber and Maddie, for that wonderful introduction, and thank you for calming my nerves as we all were a little stressed out before we got up here today. Really appreciate you kicking off this program. I am so pleased to have such smart and engaged young women leading the work of our new Youth Advisory Board. Attending a leadership launch last year gave me the inspiration to put this board together. Leadership Launch is a nonprofit dedicated to mentoring young people and help them succeed in school and become future leaders. I was incredibly impressed with the young men and women I met there, and that not only underscored to me the importance of forming this board, but these kids also helped make it happen. Now I'm proud to have 17 dynamic, remarkable young people volunteering their time to advise me on important initiatives in our city. So a big thank you to the representatives of Leadership Launch, and again, thank you, Amber and Maddie and our entire Youth Advisory Board for your leadership. I'd also like to thank Patrick Pierce and the Economic Alliance for putting on this event, and Rich White and the Boeing Company for sponsoring. And again, thank you to all our elected officials for being here today, including our newest County Council member, Megan Dunn, and also representatives of Tulalip Tribe, Marilyn Sheldon. Thank you for being here. I'd especially like to acknowledge all 7 of our City Council members. Council President Judy Toohey, Council members Scott Bader, Scott Murphy, Jeff Moore, Paul Roberts, Brenda Stonecipher, and Liz Vogely. It is an absolute honor to work with each of you. I appreciate your partnership, your commitment, and your willingness to roll up your sleeves with me and do the hard work. I am grateful to lead this beautiful city together with you. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize our city team. I often tell people that one of the things that has impressed me most is the dedication of each individual who works for the city of Everett. Our team members are true public servants. Day in and day out, they go above and beyond to ensure our residents are well cared for and our city is able to continue to provide essential services, especially during inclement weather. So thank you to our city team. And heading into this holiday weekend, I think it's important to acknowledge the legacy that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. bestowed upon our nation. Dr. King was a true leader of all people who never chose fear, but always chose courage and determination when tackling difficult challenges. He maintained a vision of a diverse America where all people are truly equal. Now it is as important as ever to hold his ideals in our hearts. As I mentioned, I want all of us to have the future in mind, which is why we began by sharing that great video of Everett's younger residents. A big thank you, by the way, to Pipa Escalante from our communications team for producing that wonderful video, as well as all the bright young people who participated in it. Today is about engaging our youth and creating a brighter future for them. The sirens are timely. It's hard to listen to the news these days and not get overwhelmed by the negative things going on in the world. Devastating wildfires in Australia, unrest in the Middle East, and increasing divisions in our society. But these kids give me hope. And hearing their passion and vision for the future reminds me that things that we do or don't do have real consequences for them. I want to do my part to make their positive vision for our city a reality. I may not be able to deliver on making Everett nice and sunny all the time, but I am committed to ensuring the city is welcoming, inclusive, safe, and awesome, as Leanne in the video says, and that we are a city that cultivates opportunities for everyone, especially our youth, to rise, thrive, and succeed. So my remarks today will focus on what we are doing to shape our city for them. I will also talk about the challenges we continue to face, the tough choices we need to make, and how we as a community can and must work together to ensure Everett remains strong, grows sustainably, and maintains a high quality of life for all who live, work, and learn here. I will focus on 4 following areas: a better future for all, collaboration and partnership, economic and cultural vitality, and sustainable and effective government. So let's start by talking about what a better future for all looks like. I believe that government's most important job is keeping our community safe. We are working hard to address crime, homelessness, and other safety challenges, and we've made considerable progress. In early 2018, I issued a directive to reduce gang and youth gun violence, and the city stood up its first standalone gang response unit. I am super proud of the results we're seeing. Gang-related cases are down by nearly half compared to 2018, and crime rates along Casino Road have dropped. Also, importantly, young gang members are discovering they have other options. An example our gang response unit told me: they are currently working with 4 teens who reached out to them asking for help in leaving their gang. With support from our officers, now all 4 of these youth have reduced their criminal justice contacts, and 2 are actively back in school, working hard to get back on track and graduate high school. We're seeing positive results in other areas as well. Between 2016 and 2018, violent crimes in Everett decreased by more than 20%, and property and burglary crimes are down as well. Additionally, Everett Police received the #1 clearance rate in Washington State when compared with the top 10 most populous cities. High clearance rates means crimes are being solved and arrests are being made. I'm also proud to note that Everett police officers are among the best trained in the nation, and I want to be sure to keep it that way. I aim to provide Everett Police with the resources needed to continue delivering superior services. Everett now has a fully staffed bicycle unit, and we're able to add both a motorcycle officer and a recruiting officer this last year. We also trained staff on implicit bias, procedural justice, and trauma-informed care. And just last month, we started to pilot body-worn cameras. This year, we will revive our community police academy after a very long hiatus. The academy, together with our Chiefs Advisory Board, provides valuable feedback on police programs and ensures best practices and builds trust in our community. Working in collaboration with our police department is our prosecutor's office, which aims to ensure that justice prevails. Last year, our prosecutors handled more than 3,000 cases. Our team worked diligently to protect the community from domestic violence abusers, dangerous drivers, and other criminals. So I'd like to thank Chief Templeman, the Everett Police, the prosecutor's office, as well as our municipal court judges for your dedication and service to keeping our community safe. Thank you. No community is without its challenges, however, and Everett is not immune to some of the growing national problems affecting cities everywhere. Wealth inequality, the opioid epidemic, untreated or undiagnosed behavioral health issues, they're all fueling the rise of homelessness across the country, including here in Everett. That said, we remain ahead of many of our peer cities. We're deploying resources on multiple fronts to address this challenge, and we're getting results. One example is our community outreach and enforcement team, which pairs police officers and social workers to reach out to people in need and connect them to resources. Since 2017, our embedded teams have connected nearly 800 people to mental health and chemical dependency services, and they've helped more than 360 find housing. A member of our team shared a story which I'd like to share with you. A young veteran was living in his vehicle and struggling with substance abuse. He was referred to our team. This young man had experienced trauma, suffered from anxiety, and didn't know how to get help. Our team connected him with veteran services and mental health care and helped place him in treatment for his addiction. When he was ready, our team helped him reunite with his family so that he would be surrounded with more support. He is now home with loved ones, sober, and currently connected to his services. It's stories like this that show how we can make a difference, one interaction at a time, and really turn a life around. In addition to this program, we're working to create more housing solutions for those living without permanent shelter. In 2019, we welcomed the opening of several supportive housing projects, including Cocoon Houses Hub, Hopeworks Station, and Claire's Place. Together, these organizations have added 170 units of supportive housing to our city. We also, go ahead. I'm excited. We also partnered with Snohomish County, United Church of Christ, and the Salvation Army to open a winter shelter. In just a few months, that 60-bed shelter has served more than 400 people. Last year, we launched a Cars to Housing pilot program in partnership with Interfaith Family Shelter and Cascade View Presbyterian Church. The program offers families living in their vehicles a safe place to park at night and connects them with services and resources to help transition them into housing. Since August, this program has served 16 families. The majority of them have now moved on to a family shelter or permanent housing. And just last week, the Carnegie Resource Center celebrated its one-year anniversary. Carnegie has been a remarkable partner, and last year made more than 16,000 direct connections, helping people in need get off the streets and onto a more stable path. These are just some of the examples of the incredible work going on in our city. We have outstanding partners like Snohomish County Human Services, as well as our nonprofit and faith-based organizations who are working diligently to bring stability and shelter to even more members of our community. The web of support these local organizations provide is helping people turn their lives around. Whether it's through shelter, job skills training, or behavioral health services, I am truly grateful for the dedication and compassion that they bring to our community. And I know many of these organizations are here today, so truly thank you for the work that you do each and every day. I also want to acknowledge that in spite of these great efforts, we still have to do more. Our businesses, our neighborhoods, our families across the city can feel unsafe due to street-level challenges. And there are still far too many people living without a roof over their head or a place to call home. This only reinforces my determination to get ahead of this crisis. As a community, we have to do more. And I look forward to working together to find innovative, effective solutions. I'd also like to give a special shout out to another group of dedicated public servants, our own Everett Fire Department. In Everett, we are fortunate to have the best of the best. Whether they are helping someone who is seriously hurt or extinguishing a blazing fire, our first responders work hard to keep our community safe and be there for us when we need them most. In fact, We're Here for You is the new mission of Everett Fire, which emerged through an inclusive mission, vision, values development process last year. This mission represents the remarkable variety of work our Everett Fire teams perform every day. In 2019, our crews answered nearly 23,000 calls for emergency service, and they are also active in our community, offering safety and preparedness training. We now have 360 community volunteers trained and ready to respond in the event of a disaster. I'd like to thank Chief DeMarco and his brave and dedicated team for delivering on their mission and being here for us. Moving on, I'd like to talk about collaboration. One of our key partners is Snohomish County, and I am grateful for the strong relationship we have with Executive Summers, the County Council, and the entire Snohomish County team. Because our local communities often face very similar challenges, we work together to efficiently address our common issues. Another important partnership the city has is with the Boeing Company. Once again, I'd like to thank Boeing for generously hosting this morning's event. I think we can all appreciate that Boeing has had a really rough year. The plane crashes and terrible loss of life were a tragedy for all of us. But Everett is a Boeing town, and we have weathered tough times before. Despite the setbacks of the 737 MAX, Boeing has stayed strong and not laid off any workers to date. Boeing remains a strong pillar of our economy, and the aerospace industry is solid. With the manufacturing of the 777X and the first flight coming up in just a week or so, Boeing has retained our foothold as the center of the composite universe. I am very optimistic about the future of our aerospace sector and the continued growth and innovation it will bring to our region. But what really impresses me most are the machinists, the engineers, and others who go to work in the biggest building in the world and build the best planes. Thank you for the work that you do. Another important partner is Naval Station Everett. I will continue to advocate fiercely to the Navy and Coast Guard leadership in Washington, D.C. about why adding more assets to Naval Station Everett is in our military's best interest. Everett's deepwater port and quick access to the Pacific offer strategic advantages that can't be found anywhere else on the West Coast. Plus, Everett is known as the sailor's choice for good reason. Not only are we one of the most beautiful places in the Northwest, but we are proud to have the Navy and Coast Guard here, and we welcome their families as part of our community. At this time, I'd like to ask anybody here from the Navy, Coast Guard, or other members of the military, as well as our veterans, to please stand so that we can thank you for your incredible service to our country. I'm also very grateful for our partnership with the Port of Everett and the considerable investments they are putting into our community. Through their Mills to Maritime initiative, they are transforming our waterfront, cleaning up old mill sites and transitioning them into job-producing uses. I'm also grateful for the Port's environmental stewardship. One of their current projects is the Blue Heron Slough, and it's creating 353 acres of wetland to support salmon habitat and also doubles as a mitigation bank. Thank you to Port CEO Lisa Lefebvre and our Port Commissioners for bringing these projects to life. We're also continuing our collaborations within our education community. We have excellent public schools and top-notch higher education institutions. That includes WSU Everett, which continues to boost enrollment and attract even more students. Their engineering and medical programs are growing, offering important opportunities and building the future workforce our employers need to remain world leaders in aerospace, healthcare, and other STEM-related industries. I'd like to thank Chancellor Dr. Paul Petrie for continuing to expand such quality higher education options in Everett. We are also proud to have an outstanding community college, as well as some of the best K-12 schools in the state. Last year, we welcomed new leadership to these institutions, including Dr. Allison Brennelson as superintendent of Mukilteo Schools, Dr. Ian Saltzman as the new superintendent of Everett Public Schools, and Dr. Daria Willis as the new president of Everett Community College. I've enjoyed meeting with them and other leaders in education to discuss how we can ensure that our schools are accessible, inclusive, and providing young people with the knowledge and skills they need to achieve and succeed. On that note, the city is also helping create pipelines for young people to gain knowledge and skills to enter the workforce. This is all part of our efforts to build a brighter future for our youth. One such pathway is Everett CareerLink Internship Program, which launched this last summer in partnership with Everett Public Schools. This program connects local businesses with high school students for a 90-hour summer internship for which the students get school credit. 50 students participated, working at 29 different work sites. We hosted a number of them throughout the city, including an outstanding young intern in my office, Jamie Smith. She did so well that we kept her on as an intern, and she continues to be a valued partner today. Thank you, Jamie. A thank you as well to Shannon Afhalter, Dr. Dana Riley Black, and the entire team of Everett Schools for their fantastic work in putting this program together, and thanks to all our businesses who hosted an intern. This year, I'm pleased to announce that we will be expanding the program to Everett students in the Mukilteo School District so that even more young people have an opportunity to gain this real-world work experience. Thank you. The Workforce Development Center offers another truly amazing program I want to highlight. This nonprofit organization provides hands-on training for at-risk and disadvantaged high school juniors and seniors. I was able to tour their facility and meet with young people who are training to help create future generations of airplanes. One of their current students is with us today, Keelan Clearbrook. When I recently met with Keelan, I was impressed by his intelligence and his passion for aerospace. Keelan is 17, lives in Everett, and attends Edmonds Woodway High School. Keelan is also deaf. He was inspired to start at Workforce Development Center because his dad works at Boeing, and he hopes to one day follow in his father's footsteps. He told me he was grateful for this opportunity because deaf people can often have a hard time finding work. At the center, he's gaining knowledge and building skills in a supportive and welcoming environment that is ensuring he is career-ready and very hireable. Carmela Morelli, Director of Student Services, also shared with me that last year, every one of the 40 seniors in the program graduated high school and all went on to either employment or post-secondary education. Impressively, 28 were hired right here in Snohomish County aerospace companies, including Boeing. These are truly compelling results and show how a program like this can help a young person overcome their challenges and achieve their goals. So thank you to Carmela and the team at Workforce, and thank you, Keelan, and your interpreter for joining us here today and sharing your story. When it comes to workforce development, we cannot overlook the important role of labor and trades in our community. Everett was built on labor, and I will continue to support pathways into the trades and opportunities for people to earn good family wage jobs in a variety of sectors. Another important pillar of our community is our incredible Everett Public Library. Our library teams work hard to keep residents informed and create a safe place to gather, share ideas, and read. A key milestone of last year was the grand reopening of the Evergreen branch. It's amazing. It has all new state-of-the-art features, including new meeting space, new computers and laptop stations, and a fabulous children's room. I'm very proud of the quality programs our libraries offer to the community. And because youth is a key theme today, I wanted to highlight our Great Stories Club, a book club for teens. Our youth services librarian who leads this program told me about a student I'll call Max and how this program made a difference in their life. Max had never read any books with characters that reflected how they identified as themselves in the world. Nobody that resembled them or could serve as a role model. So the librarian brought in a stack of books that changed all that, written by or about people that Max could relate to. Max was thrilled and overwhelmed by the idea that there were so many stories out there that reflected aspects of their own experience. Programs like this are just one way we can cultivate inclusion, acceptance, and be a welcoming community. Our neighborhoods are another important conduit we have to our residents. I'm grateful to our neighborhood leaders for the passion they bring to the community. In the coming year, we'll continue to work with these dedicated community leaders to ensure all residents know how to effectively and efficiently engage with city team and our community. Next, I'd like to talk about economic development and cultural vitality. Establishing Everett as the destination of choice for business, residents, and tourists alike is part of my vision for a more vibrant city and a better future for all. This means capitalizing on and managing the growth that Everett is experiencing, and boy, are we growing. We are attracting new businesses, new visitors, new residents every day. And it's also exciting to see our established businesses continue to grow. So I'd like to share a few highlights with you. Obviously, a very big deal was the start of commercial air at the beautiful Payne Field passenger terminal, which opened last spring. Every time I'm in the terminal, I'm amazed by how easy the experience is, and I'm dazzled by the special touches. Alaska and United Airlines currently offer daily flights to 11 destinations, and are just one stop away from global getaways. We're truly fortunate to have a luxury airport right here in our own backyard. So no wonder we've already been named the world's best regional airport by Monocle magazine. So thank you to our CEO of Propeller Air, Brett Smith, for having this vision and making commercial air travel a reality here in Everett. Another newcomer to our city is Terra Power, which is bringing cutting-edge nuclear science to Everett. In their lab, researchers will tackle some of society's most challenging problems, such as generating carbon-free electricity and treating cancer. In a different kind of lab, I'm pleased to see the Northwest Innovation Resource Center, called the Lab, continue to grow and do remarkable work. Through a new partnership with Providence Regional Medical Center, Everett Community College, and WSU Everett, they will bring together students, healthcare workers, entrepreneurs to explore innovative solutions to community health issues. And yet another company supporting entrepreneurship is Executive Beauty Suites. I had the opportunity to attend their grand opening in South Everett and was very impressed. This small business supports other small businesses. Their model is built around helping aspiring entrepreneurs get off the ground and launch their own independent beauty business. Joss and Lacey Gwinther are here today. Thank you for making the dreams of other beauty professionals come true. I was also pleased to attend the grand opening of Judd & Black's new home on Everett Mall Way, which is nearly twice as big as the flagship store they lost to a tragic fire 2 years ago. The entire community rallied around them to celebrate this new beginning, and there's a reason they're so loved. I am grateful for their resilience and community involvement and for keeping our household stocked with high-quality appliances. One of my favorite new additions to the community has been Los Tamales food truck. I see you share this favorite. Los Tamales rotate around the city and often can be spotted at Boeing and our local microbreweries. Owners Hugo and Viviana are so friendly and welcoming, and the food is outstanding. As a vegetarian, my favorite is their jackfruit tamale coupled with the Mexican corn. So thank you to Hugo and Viviana for making Everett your home. Yet another addition is Soundbite Cider, which joins a growing number of microbreweries setting up shop in South Everett and making it a haven for craft beverage fans. And we were pleased to welcome Golden Fleece Billiards, who opened their doors on Colby and provides billiards, beverages, and bites. A fun fact, one of its business partners, Kim Jones, was the first African-American woman to compete in billiards for a world title and has won 5 Grand Master events. And I've been told she gives lessons. These are just a few examples of how Everett is establishing itself as a place that attracts new business and a place where existing businesses can grow and thrive. So in addition to new business, Everett is also attracting more and more residents. Our population has been growing by an average of 1,000 residents a year since 2010, and today we have about 112,000. As we grow, it's important that Everett is able to offer housing at a wide range of options at all price points. We have some good news on that front. Projects to develop more than 1,200 units are already in the city's permitting pipeline. Down on the waterfront, construction is underway to build 266 units of market-rate apartments. You may have also noticed the big red crane in the middle of downtown. That's where Scottdall Real Estate is building the Marquee apartment community, which will add 77 units of beautiful market-rate housing. On the riverfront, 35 years after the tire fire there and decades of environmental restoration, further development has begun. We expect the first phase of the riverfront project to open in 2022, bringing close to 300 new residential units, as well as a theater, grocery store, restaurants, and more. There are new apartments and townhomes in the works in Twin Creeks, Beverly Lake, Silver Lake, Delta, and Westmont neighborhoods. Yet in spite of all this development, our region is still facing a housing crisis. In 2019, the median price to purchase a home in Everett was $389,000. The median household income in Everett is only $55,000. Local incomes are simply not keeping pace with housing costs, which means owning a home is out of reach for more and more of our residents. Our local city and county teams are working hard to address this. One example is our participation in Executive Summer's Housing Affordability Regional Task Force. Over the past 8 months, Snohomish County cities and towns have worked to develop a 5-year housing action plan outlining how we can move forward, protect housing affordability, and grow responsibly. Also, through the city's Rethink Housing and Rethink Zoning initiatives, we aim to ensure present and future generations of Everett have sufficient housing opportunities that are safe, accessible, attractive, and affordable. Please join the conversation. We're planning a Rethink Housing Forum this spring, which will broaden our community's understanding of the housing crisis and explore what community partners can do together to create more options at all price points. City teams have also begun incorporating principles of placemaking into our work, which is about making Everett the vibrant place we all know it can be. On that note, last summer, we were thrilled to welcome the Everett Farmers Market to its new home on Wetmore. This brings thousands of people and new vitality downtown every Sunday of market season. I look forward to continuing the partnership with the market for years to come. Our city has also begun working on certification to become a creative district, which is a program that helps communities turn cultural activities into economic growth. Everett is already a creative center, with fantastic organizations like the Shack, Imagine Children's Museum, Everett Performing Arts Center, and Black Lab Gallery. This designation allows us to highlight what we already have. We have amazing new sculptures at our Arboretum and a newly remodeled Evergreen Branch Library as well, and exciting plans for new murals downtown funded through public-private partnerships with Scott Dahl Real Estate and Funko. Funko is even going to hold an in-house competition amongst its 300 graphic designers and artists to design one of the murals which will go on the Everett Performing Arts Center, all at no cost to the city. And this summer, the Shack Art Center's graffiti show will bring artists, demonstrations, new artwork, and more murals to downtown. Broadway will soon feature new sculptures that also function as bike racks as well. Dramatic pause. Certainly something that makes Everett a cool place to be is having great things to do. The Angel of the Winds Arena continues to bring a great variety of music and activities to our city, including sports like our beloved Silvertips and Seattle Storm. And in just a few weeks, we'll be hosting the Fed Cup, the premier international competition in women's tennis. And it was just announced yesterday, if you didn't see it, that tennis icon Serena Williams will be playing. I'm kind of a fan, I'm sure all of you are, so we all have to go. We are also proud to host our Everett Aqua Sox at the recently rebranded Funko Field. If you haven't been to a game, you really need to go. It's one of the best places for a family to enjoy a sunny summer day. So a big thank you to all of our fabulous local athletes, Angel of the Winds Arena and Funko Field, for making Everett a great place to be. Being able to get where you need to go in a reasonable amount of time is also part of economic vitality, which means having great transportation and infrastructure. Our public works and transportation teams do an exceptional job of keeping the city moving, and that is especially apparent this week. Teams have been working around the clock to keep our roads safe and buses running. Without them, I think many of us would not have been able to make it here today. So I'm truly grateful for your dedication. Last year, our public works teams completed a significant milestone. We successfully lifted and installed the $1 million Grand Avenue Park Bridge, a feat of incredible technical precision. The utility project not only upgrades our city storm and sewer systems, but also creates a beautiful pedestrian connection to our waterfront that will open this spring. This year, our public works team will continue to ensure our roads are among the best maintained in the region. They will finish the Rucker Renewal Project and complete segments of our bicycle master plan. Maintaining this level of service, however, is getting tougher with dwindling resources. The passage of I-976 dealt us a significant blow, and this year we will need to take a hard look at how we provide these essential services. One way we're working to bring revenue into the city is by showcasing Everett as a premier tourist destination. Last year, we debuted a new tourism brand called Visit Everett. So far, Visit Everett has reached an estimated 7.5 million people, highlighting Everett's beautiful waterfront, our historic and walkable downtown, and of course, many of our unique restaurants and breweries. Some of you may recall in my State of the City last year, I challenged everyone who lives and works and learns in Everett to be our own best ambassadors and to share our love for Everett loudly and proudly. And you rose to the challenge. All around me, including in the voices of our young people, I hear pride and a sense of belonging when we talk about Everett being our home. And vibrant communities always have great parks, so I'm especially proud of Everett's robust park system. We have more than 1,000 acres spanning 54 park properties, all offering our residents and visitors an opportunity to get some fresh air, exercise, volunteer at Green Everett, and take in the natural beauty of the Pacific Northwest. Our Parks Department also offers excellent classes for all ages and interests, such as swimming, gardening, guided tours, and more. Late last year, we also celebrated the grand opening of the new YMCA. Through our partnership with the Y, Everett residents can now use the swim center for a small fee without becoming a member. Now residents have 2 exceptional pools to choose from. This partnership also includes a new city park adjacent to the Y, which will open this year. So thank you to our local Y for your partnership and all you do for your members and our residents alike. Now I'd like to touch on what it means to be sustainable and effective government. That means being responsible and responsive, transparent, and accountable. A new way we've added transparency to city operations is through our open data portal. This interactive online portal gives community members access to a range of data sets, including topics like public safety, education, health, and transportation. Another example is council districting. Everett voters decided to have our city council seats represent geographic areas. That kicked off a districting process and the formation of a districting committee. Over the next few months, the commission will work with the community and the districting master to create 5 equitable districts in the city. Effective governance also means being nimble and responsive to the needs of our community. Right now, more than half of Everett's population is under the age of 40. That means we need to cultivate more opportunities for our young people and families to stay and thrive. We also need to ensure Everett is a welcoming and great place to live and work. To help in that endeavor, I'll be working with our Youth Advisory Board and our other boards and commissions to explore ways we can better engage younger generations in city business and decisions and grow Everett into the city of which they will be proud. And although my focus today is on youth, we remain committed to ensuring a great quality of life for all of us over 40 as well. That stresses the importance not only of creating jobs for our youth and future generations, but also taking care of our seniors and ensuring Everett remains affordable, offers quality programs and services, and is overall a great place to retire. Through our Parks Department and our Carl Gibson Senior Center, the city continues to provide high-quality classes that engage the body and mind and create a sense of community. And thanks to a grant from Snohomish County, last year we installed new fitness equipment at the Senior Center, which will help keep our seniors fit and physically active. Being a sustainable, responsive, and responsible government means we also must address climate change and take action to reduce our carbon footprint. Our region is already experiencing the effects of climate change, from hotter than usual summers to wetter than ever rainy seasons and huge winter storms, to smoky summer skies due to wildfires. All these affect our health and safety and our quality of life. As I think about this, I have to think about my daughter Panda, who is here today. I want a better future for her and all our residents in Everett. Toward that end, the city has been taking action. In city operations, transportation accounts for the most of our greenhouse gas emissions. Accordingly, our efforts to date have focused on tackling emissions from city vehicles. We're replacing fleet vehicles with more fuel-efficient models and even all-electric ones whenever feasible. Everett Transit is leading the charge toward electrification and has added 9 all-electric buses with more on the way this year. We're also promoting alternatives to driving by improving the walkability and bikeability of Everett. One of my New Year's resolutions, I'm sure we all have them, is to bike more. So I'm thrilled to see a new major link in our bicycle master plan that opened last year. It connects Pacific Avenue to the Interurban Trail, providing safe, convenient route between North and South Everett and our other neighboring communities. We also have to continue to protect our green spaces in Everett. Through our tree program, we've partnered with residential and commercial property owners to plant close to 5,000 trees in city neighborhoods. These are meaningful steps, but I know we must do more. In the coming weeks, we will be presenting a climate action plan to City Council. The plan sets targets to reduce the climate pollution from both city operations as well as throughout our community and seeks to position Everett as a leader on climate action. Good government also means focusing on and anticipating the future, and this has been a priority of mine since taking office, where we faced a $13.2 million structural deficit. I've been working with our city council and the city team to put us on a fiscally sustainable path. This process has not been easy. It has meant trimming programs, reorganizing departments, and reducing staff. In the past 2 years, we've made nearly $8 million in permanent reductions and reduced staffing of an already lean workforce by an additional 18 FTEs. Despite these actions, more work is necessary to permanently address the structural deficit, and the city cannot accomplish this goal on its own. It will take the commitment of everyone in our community, our residents and businesses alike. Our vision for Everett is one of strength, security, and equity. And if we work together as a community, we will realize that vision. As we are working towards this goal, I have 4 exciting initiatives that I intend to pursue, and I hope I will have your full support in bringing them to fruition. First, we must ensure we continue to have a robust, well-trained police force to keep our communities safe. I'm proud of the outstanding police department and everything they have accomplished to reduce crime across the city. But we know that more needs to be done so that our residents feel safe everywhere, all the time. With a growing population, it's important that our police force grows in tandem. Therefore, I intend to add 24 officers by 2022. This will add patrol officers where we need them most, reduce response times, and ensure our residents are not only safe, but feel safe. This is our #1 goal and priority, and with the community's help, I know we can accomplish this. Second, we must eliminate, go ahead. Second, we must eliminate student homelessness in the city of Everett. Last school year, roughly 1,200 Everett school children were living without safe, stable housing. Kids cannot succeed without a roof over their head. If you're hungry, if you haven't slept, if you don't know where you're going to be the next day, how can you possibly stay focused and pass a test at school? I believe this is a problem we can solve. I am calling on experts in the field to create a task force so that together we can execute a plan to solve student homelessness in our city. I'm proud to announce that Joe Alonzo, CEO of Cocoon House, and Dr. Joyce Stewart, former Deputy Superintendent of Everett Public Schools, will co-lead this effort. I can't think of 2 better people to champion this cause, and I know that they will bring unmatched expertise, perspective, and determination to solving this. The task force will also include representatives from nonprofits, faith-based organizations, both Everett and Mukilteo school districts, and other community leaders, as well as students experiencing homelessness and their families. From my experience on the Community Streets Initiative, I know that working together, we can tackle big problems. There is no community more collaborative or innovative than Everett. We can do this. Third, we live in an incredibly beautiful city, but not all of our neighborhoods enjoy the same beautiful outdoor amenities. Historically, much of the city's investments have been in North Everett, which tends to have better walking and biking routes, as well as access to both the water and riverfront. South Everett, in the meantime, has one of the most beautiful but underutilized lakes in the region, Silver Lake. Decades ago, city teams envisioned creating a cohesive and connective recreational trail around the lake. Those plans were revisited and tabled over and over again for years due to the high price tag of this project. A few months ago, I was fortunate to be one of 7 mayors selected to participate in the Mayor's Institute of Urban Design, where I received guidance from experts around the country on how to move forward with this project. I learned that we can make this happen affordably for our residents in South Everett and all our residents. Therefore, I've directed staff to revisit previous city plans to improve recreational opportunities and pathways around the lake so that people of all ages and abilities can safely enjoy it, and I look forward to reporting our progress in the months to come. Finally, to address our future sustainability, I'm calling together a stakeholder committee to explore fiscal options and advise city leadership on ways we can address the city's revenue challenges this year and far into the future. Balancing a budget year over year while facing a growing deficit is not only unsustainable, it's bad business. Our city and residents deserve the investments I've talked about today and much more. We cannot achieve a high quality of life if we continue to whittle away at services and programs to balance our bottom line. We need lasting changes that put us on a more sustainable financial path. We will launch this work immediately, and it will be of utmost importance in ensuring we can accomplish our combined vision and the vision the young people shared with us this morning. So you've just heard me talk about the wonderful things happening in the city and the ways we're making a difference. You've also heard me talk about the challenges we face, how we might solve those challenges, and our vision for a bright future. I'll end my remarks today where I began, which is with the future in mind. A future that is awesome, filled with Funko, world-class companies, flight, fun things to do. A city that is welcoming with housing at all price points and sunny days. The hopes and dreams of our young residents. You are leaders from big business, small businesses, faith-based organizations, nonprofits, government, law enforcement, financial institutions, and education. Together, we have everything we need to make Everett the city our young people hope it will be. I'm grateful for your investment in this community, and I look forward to continuing our partnership to ensure Everett remains a safe, welcoming, prosperous, and awesome city. Thank you.